Hi students, in the last lecture we were discussing the cellular junctions of epithelial tissues, and under epithelial tissues lecture 3 will be discussing today cilia, microvilli and stereocilia. Clear students? All of you note down students. The heading is cilia, microvilli and stereocilia. We will be comparing the three aspects. Clear? First of all, cilia, microvilli, and here stereocilia. Okay, stereocilia. Now these structures are present in the free surfaces of the epithelial tissues. Okay, these structures enhance the functioning of the epithelial tissues. Okay, now what are these differences, and let's compare. Okay, first of all, cilia structure, all the structures, let's compare now. First of all, cilia at the free surfaces of some epithelial cells of the tissue. These are very longer and thinner, and cylindrical in shape. Longer, thinner and cylindrical in shape. For example, the free surfaces of epithelial, this is the tissue for example, and these are present very longer ones, at the free surfaces, very longer ones like this, and this forms a ciliated epithelium. Because at the free surfaces what are present, the cilia are present. These are longer, thinner and cylindrical. Next one is microvilli. These are shorter when compared to cilia. These are shorter and thicker. That is thinner, this is thicker, and this one is also cylindrical in shape. And how are these? For example, this is a epithelial tissue consisting of epithelial cells. So the epithelial cells are there, and this is a cell, and this is a plasma membrane, isn't it? This is the plasma membrane. This plasma membrane somewhat extends like this. See here, and there is a swelling. This is called as protuberance. Protuberance means a swollen structure is there. So this is a swelling or protuberance. As a result, this forms a microvilli. These are the microvilli. Microvilli are the protuberances or extensions of the plasma membrane of the epithelial cells. And these are shorter, thicker and cylindrical in shape. Next one, stereocilia. Stereocilia are longer. They are longer, thicker and cylindrical. Longer, thicker and cylindrical. This is shorter, thicker, cylindrical. This is longer, thicker and cylindrical. Now where these are present, these are very longer, and these are finger-like also, very finger-like. How is a finger? It's a longer one, okay, is a thicker one and a cylindrical one, isn't it? So it's a finger-like structure, almost finger-like structure. Okay, so much like this. Okay, so that is a shape. And next one is a cilia arise from basal body, also called as basal granule. What is a basal body or basal granule? Just like a plant arises from the roots and the hair arises from the hair follicle, isn't it? In the same way, the cilia arises from the structure called as basal body or basal granule. Clear? For example, here is a epithelial cell, and here is a cilia. You see here, and now here is a small structure here called as a basal granule. This is a basal granule, basal BG I'm writing, and this is the cilia. cilium, because we had drawn only one, isn't it? And this is the epithelial cell like this. Cilia arises from the basal body or basal granule, whereas here in the microvilli, the basal granule is absent. In the stereocilia also, the basal granule or basal body is absent. Clear? Next point. The third point now. Cilia contains the 9+2 microtubular arrangement. 9+2 microtubular arrangement. For example, this is the ultrastructure. What is an ultrastructure? Ultrastructure means the microscopic structure of the cilia. Anything ultrastructure means the microscopic structure, in the detailed structure. And these are the microtubules. I am drawing here a very smaller ones. Okay. Like this, like this. I had drawn how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, the space is not there. 8. I had drawn only 8. Okay, actually 9 should be there. 9 plus 2. Here 9 are there. In the center, 2 are there. Okay, 9. This is a doublet. What is this one? Doublet. Doublet means 2 are there. Singlet means only single, isn't it? So doublets. These are the doublets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Just imagine is there. Okay. And 9 peripheral ones. 9 peripheral means corners. And central one. How many are there in the center? 2 are there. And all these are the microtubules. That's why it's called as 9+2 microtubular arrangement. 9+2 microtubular arrangement. This is present only in cilia. 9+2 microtubular arrangement is present only in the cilia, whereas this is absent from microvilli as well as the stereocilia. In both, this 9+2 microtubular arrangement is absent. Clear? So next one is, so till now just A, use just note it down as a structure. Now B means function, functional aspects we'll be discussing. When we discuss the functional aspects, we should be discussing with the examples. Okay. Now what are the examples of? That is location of cilia present in the human body, because cilia means not only in the ciliates. When we were in the lower classes, you might have studied that paramecium, all these structures, vorticella, all these contains the cilia. That is ciliates, protozoans are there. That is a different story. But here cilia means we are discussing from the epithelial cells point of view in the human body, isn't it? And animal body, isn't it? That is location of cilia in the human body. We are discussing very, very important need bit. All of you note down. Cilia present. First of all, examples are respiratory tracts. Respiratory tracts. Respiratory tracts examples, very common example is, you take trachea. Trachea is a windpipe, isn't it? Next one is a bronchi. Bronchi. Now I'll draw here because there is no space. I'm drawing here under microvilli. Don't confuse here. Okay. This is a this structure is being drawn here. Okay. And this is the trachea. Here is a larynx present. This is a larynx or voice box, where the voice is coming. That's called as a voice box, sound box, larynx. And this is the trachea, cartilaginous rings. This is the trachea. Up to here, that is a larynx. From here, rings are there, and this structure is called as trachea, windpipe. Okay. And here are the bronchi present. And of course, here are the lungs located. That is a different story here. Lungs are located here. Here diaphragm is there. And here abdomen is there. Okay. Trachea contains the ciliated epithelium. Which ciliated epithelium? Pseudostratified ciliated epithelium. Okay, I'll be discussing this one and elaborating on these points. What is pseudostratified? All these things under classification of epithelial tissues, not now. Okay. Just remember that the trachea contains a ciliated epithelium, and bronchi also and bronchioles also contains a ciliated epithelium. That is, respiratory tracts contains a ciliated epithelium. Why? Because when we take the oxygen from the atmosphere, that is outside, we take the oxygen. This oxygen may be containing some microbial agents, bacteria, viruses, etc., isn't it? And it is especially important in these corona times, isn't it? So this contains airway containing the bacterial and other microbial agents along with the dust particles, and these are entrapped. These dust particles, air is taking in this way, and the dust particles are entrapped in which one? Trachea and the bronchi and the bronchioles. Why? Because the cilia are present here. What are present in the respiratory tracts? The cilia are present. Ciliated epithelium is there. With the ciliated epithelium is there, but the ciliary action, all these microbial particles, dust particles are beaten, and we get some irritation. We spit it out along with the coughing and sneezing, all these things. And this contains mucus, and mucus contains the dust particles, bacterial agents, etc. So this is a body's defensive mechanism to get rid of these infections. So ciliated epithelium is definitely favoring the human body. So it present in the respiratory tracts. Next one is, it is also present in the fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes. Nothing but oviducts of the female reproductive system, fallopian tube or oviduct. So this diagram is being drawn here. It's a very rough diagram here. Okay. So here is a fimbrial like this, and these are the ovaries. Okay, here connection. Okay. When the ovary, this is the ovary, releases the ovum, that should be conducted to the fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. FTR I'm writing. Okay. Ovum should be conducted to the fallopian tube because the fallopian tube is totally having the fluid medium is there. This is the mucus and fluid medium is there. I'm writing here mucus and other fluid is there. And this also contains the cilia. Also contains the cilia. These are the cilia, for example. These are the cilia. And ovum should be conducted to the structure, precise structure, that is called as the ampulla isthmus junction of the fallopian tube. There, the ovum should be waiting here. How the ovum is now entrapped here and conducted to the junction, ampulla isthmus junction, only by the ciliary action. It moves here and there because here the fluid medium is there, and only by this one it is moving here. And third, next one is, the cilia are also present in the ventricles of brain. Ventricles of brain. Ventricles means the brain cavities. Ventricles means the brain cavities. I'll be discussing the further points not under this one, but simple epithelium. Clear? Ventricles of brain and central canal of spinal cord. It also contains a ciliated epithelium. Other example. Now, what do you observe common in all these things? There is a movement is there. Only by the beating of the cilia, the ovum is conducted. Only by the beating of the cilia, the dust particles are moving here. That is, the ciliated epithelium, it contains the motility is there. What is present? Motility. Very important point. Motility means mobility. It can move here. Movement is there. The mechanism of movement is there. Motion is there. That is called as motility is present only in the cilia. Why the motility is present only in cilia? Because it contains the contraction. Motility is there only for cilia. Why? Because it contains a contraction, rhythmic contraction and relaxation is there for the 9+2 microtubular arrangement is there. I told you that only the cilia contains a 9+2 microtubular arrangement which is absent from microvilli and stereocilia. And this microtubular 9+2 arrangement is responsible for rhythmic contraction and relaxation. Because of the rhythmic contraction and relaxation only, there is a motility is there or mobility is there here. Okay, that is present only in cilia, but there is no motility or mobility in the case of microvilli and stereocilia. There is no motility and there is no motility in the case of stereocilia also. So what is the main function of cilia? Motility, rhythmic contraction and relaxation is there. These are motile. And next one, let's discuss the functional aspects of microvilli. Clear, students? The functional aspects of microvilli, let's discuss now. Now both microvilli and stereocilia, they are not concerned, no motility is there, no motility. Here also no motility, because here 9+2 microtubular arrangement is absent, that is why no motility. And what is the most important function of this microvilli? Absorption. Absorption is a main function here. So I told you now already, the surface area, these are the epithelial cells of the tissue. I told you that these are the extensions, protuberances, isn't it? Protuberances means extensions of the plasma membrane of the epithelial cells. These are the microvilli. And these microvilli, they form all these unite, all these join to form the brush border surface. Brush border surface. Microvilli are present in the free surfaces of the epithelial cells. These are the small extensions or swellings or protuberances of the plasma membrane of the epithelial cells. Microvilli are formed. All the microvilli join to form a common structure called as the brush border surface. The brush border surface is mainly responsible for increasing of surface area of absorption. Surface area of absorption. So where it must be there, where the absorption is necessary, microvilli structures, that is epithelial cells with the microvilli are present where the surface area of absorption is needed. Obviously, what is that? Small intestine is the main structure. Small intestine. Human small intestine is there, isn't it? And what is the function of small intestine? Of course, digestion is there along with the absorption. After food is digested, it should be absorbed and absorbed into the blood. Circulatory system supplies all this digested food to all parts of the body. So, which one is increasing the surface area of absorption of the small intestine? The brush border surface is increasing the surface area of absorption in the small intestine because it contains a microvilli. All these microvilli join to form the brush border surface, students. Clear, students? So that is the first structure, first example. And next one is second example I'll be discussing here. Okay. The second example is nephron. Nephrons are the structural and functional units of the kidneys, isn't it? I'm not drawing total diagram here. Only DCT, this is the PCT. This is the PCT. This is the Henle's loop. And this is the DCT. Proximal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule. Here's the Henle's loop. No need of explanation here. The PCT contains the microvilli. These are the microvilli present here. These form the brush border surface here again. Brush border surface. Brush border surface. Because all these microvilli joint form the brush border surface. Here also microvilli are there, but not as serious as that of PCT. Here also there, but very lesser when compared to the PCT. And here, because here in the PCT more brush border surface with the microvilli are there, more surface area of absorption. Surface area of absorption, that is selective reabsorption of the renal filtrate into the interstitium. We will be discussing in the future lectures, not now. When compared to PCT, DCT has a lesser surface area of absorption. Selective reabsorption is very lesser because it contains a fewer microvilli are there. So that is a next aspect here, discussion. And now we will be moving to the stereocilia now. Now examples of stereocilia. First example is, of course, there is no motility here because there is no microtubular arrangement, and examples of stereocilia are epididymis. Next one is vas deferens, also called as ductus deferens. Where are these structures present? They are present in the male reproductive system, MRS. These two are the structures present in the male reproductive system. Next one, third example of stereocilia are contains in the inner ear. Cochlea contains the hair cells. Cochlea, that is inner ear, there is a hearing apparatus is there, and that is called as the cochlea. Cochlea is in the inner ear, is concerned with the hearing, and this cochlea contains the hair cells. Hair cells contains the epithelial tissue, and which contains the stereocilia. This is responsible for the hearing apparatus here. Okay, to restore all these things, the hair cells contains the stereocilia, and that is responsible for mechanosensing. Mechanosensing. Okay, students. So this is the completion of stereocilia, and this is the completion of this lecture, today's lecture by students, all of you. And we'll be discussing the classification of epithelium, starting with a simple epithelium in the next lecture. Hope you enjoyed my session. God bless you all. Bye, students, all of you.